Alright, what's up, guys? Master Yugioh here with.
My name's Danny.
And what'd you do this weekend?
I placed second place at Rivals OTS Championship and with Virtual World.
Alright, yep, there's the trophy. Then,
Just get right into it.
Yep. Oh, I didn't do way too much.
So the monsters are pretty standard. Played 3 Lulu, 3 GG, double Yin Yin, and triple Lily, and triple Lao. These ratios are pretty standard. They shouldn't change. There's no reason to play 3 of Union whatsoever. I was very happy with the deck. So I've been playing this ratio for the past like 2.5 months. So it's pretty standard. That's it for the Virtual World Monsters. Now to the hand traps. I played the Gamma package. I like this package. I know some people take it out and are playing like Veilers and stuff because Veilers really popular right now with impermanence. I just think Gamma is just really good, especially in this deck. It just wins you games and it helps you resolve a lot of your monster effects. Like if you draw like one name and have this, and they have like Ash your Lulu or your Lily, you have this card is really good. Or if they try to Ash your like your Quailoon, it's really good. So Ash is very high impact as well. And then I play 3 Ash Blossom. There's just generic and hits anything in the game. I just play 3. Some people cut it down to 2. I just, it's Ash, so just play it at 3 instead of 2. I'd rather just play 3 than 2. So that's it for the monster hand traps. We'll go to the spells. For the Virtual World spells, we play 3 City. This card's great. It was stuck to my hand all tournament. 3 Quanglong. And that's it for the Virtual World spells. Don't need to play, obviously, you don't need to play less than this. I've seen people actually only play 2 of this. I don't agree because you play Desires in the deck. So I've seen people actually cut this to 2. I just don't like that idea. The deck already has consistency problems as it is. So cutting this to 2, playing 3 Desires or 2 Desires, like it lowers your consistency. Like it's just you just have to play 3 of these. Period. You shouldn't never not. And then for the other spells, 1-ofs. I played 1 Call by the Grave. It's Call by the Grave. In my case, like I see it all the time. It's really good. It helps like stop the Scythe combo along with impermanence and stuff like that, and Chalice, but I don't main Chalice. So Call by the Grave, and then so this last week I picked this up because in the old version of the deck when we played Calamities, we played 2 of this, if not 1 of this. So I feel like it would add some consistency. So I played 1 Foolish Burial Goods. You don't necessarily break on unless you draw like all 3 Quanglong, which can very well happen. But if anything, it's just a 1-of, just like Call by the Grave. Like if you draw either of them, it's just really good for you. If you like draw a name plus city plus this, just combo. City and a name is combo, but like this with the name and city is just super combo. So like this is just really good. Just adds a little consistency to the deck, and it performed very well. So I wouldn't change it. And then 2-ofs. I played 2 Desires. I have people ask why I don't play 3 Desires. Well, I played it at 40 cards exactly. And honestly, when I resolve Desires, I like, to be honest, like very rarely do I ever have a situation where I draw Desires into Desires. And that's partially one reason. And another reason is at 2, I see it just enough. I don't oversee it. I don't undersee it. I see it just enough. And when it resolves, it's crack. In one of my games, I was playing in top 8 and I resolved a Desires, had already had a Dimension Barrier, and drew into Imperial Order and Judgment off my Desires in top 8 match. So it was actually top 4. It was insane. Desires is a good card. And then obviously some people play 1. I like to it's just really good. I play double E Telly. More consistency. So because the deck has consistency issues, you just have to play cards that just add consistency and the best consistency without having to nag so much. So the reasoning why I don't play Small World. So some people have gotten results with Small World. I don't like Small World because the fact that is you have to reveal, banish, and if that gets ashed, you still have to banish that card. So you'll lose you lose a banished name out of your deck, even though you can recover it. I get that, but like it's like when you activate it, it's like reveal, so they know one card's in your hand. One card is in your hand. You banish the one face down, and then if it gets Ash, it's like you banish. They know one card in hand, and you lose smaller. So it's kind of like almost like a neg 3, and I don't agree. Same thing why I don't play talents. I used to play talents. I play tested that too. I feel like if you open up a name and a way to Quang Long, there's no need of talents to maybe look at the hand or maybe break a board. But this deck is already good at breaking boards. Has a lot of built-in utility. It's a tool deck, so it's just really good at breaking boards and making boards. So I didn't feel like talents was sufficient enough to where it's like if I'm only going to use it, like I did use it to sometimes look at people's hands and stuff, but I feel like when I would have full combo, it didn't matter what people had in their hands because a lot of times if you play this deck correctly, you can make your Crystal Wing by your 4th summon. Or by your 5th summon usually. So yeah, just consistency. This is just all consistency cards. Desire, Z-Telly, just a way to add consistency to the deck. And then for the traps, I play just this ratio should never change. One of the Zhang Wu, 2 Chu-Che, cards crack. And then one of that. A lot of people say the percentile is really low, like 5 or 6% that you see it. All tournament, man. Like I swear to God, I play this card in any of my decks that I main it in, and I see it like I don't know, like every other hand, like every game. I draw into it. I'll charge Warrior. It's insane. I play the one Imperial Order. Cards should get banned. It's definitely unfair. Shuts off the whole mechanic of the game and activating spells. But for the meantime, while it's legal, I'm just going to continue to abuse the card. It's just really good. But Konami, ban this card. That's it for those. And then obviously for the last hand trap, 3 impermanents. So, it's good against breaking Sword Soul board. It's good against a lot of decks. Flunderies. Ash doesn't really do a lot of Flunderies. So like this and like this really helps that matchup. But yeah, just generic, impermanents, Ash, Gamma.
How many is the main deck?
40 cards is the main.
Okay.
No, I've tried it at 41, 42. And I think 40 is the magic number in my opinion.
Okay.
So we'll go up to the side deck. So for the side, I actually spent some time on the side, thinking what there was going to be there, and I had a feeling there was going to be a lot of Sword Soul, which there was. In Top Cut, there was like 5 Sword Soul, 1 Dark Warrior FTK, and then I played in the finals against a mirror match, but the deck did what it did in the finals, and it bricked on me. But it's okay. It did what it did for me very well throughout the day. So for the hand traps on the side, I play double Nib, triple Journal Logward. Nib didn't really come up for me. I don't know if I want to continue signing in Nib or even having it in my side. It really didn't come up for me at all. A lot of Sword Soul players can play through this card. Virtual World can kind of play through this card pretty well. It's just, and that's the reason why I put it at 2. I didn't want to put it at 3. I used to main this card, and like sometimes you oversee it, and it's just not good. It's a dead card because you don't want to nib your own board after making a board. Even though you can like recover Shinshin and stuff, it's just like I just didn't see it. I think I might try cutting out the 2 nibs and maybe playing double Chalice in the side because you play Imperm, so against like Sword Soul decks and decks that have a lot of monster negate effects or like make a big board. Drawing like Imperm, Talents, or drawing Imperm and Chalice is really good to just break into the board because those 2 cards alone just stop 2 monster effects. There's 2 anomaly negate and a monster effect. Those Imperm and Chalice just breaks. 1 Imperm will pretty much break a Sword Soul board in this deck. So you just, imperm something that's problematic, and you just break the board if you open up, like, enough combo. So I think I might try cutting this out and maybe try and Chalice at 2 in the side. And then we'll go off to the spells in the side deck. 3 Lightning Storm. So this card's absolutely nuts. Better... I was kind of back and forth between Twin Twisters and this because sometimes in the deck where like if you side in Twin against certain decks, let's say you brick and you open up Quang Long Twin Twister, but you have like access to Quaylun, but no name, you can like activate Twin Twister, pop back rows in the Quang Long and then do that thing. But Lightning Storm is overwhelming just good because also against Sword Soul they can't afford to necessarily put a lot of their synchros and defense because their defenses are very small. I think Baron's decent. Shao's very small. They can put the level 10 Sword Soul Monster in attack mode or defense because pretty big defense and attack. So, but again, Sword Soul breakboard cards, really good. Like the Nib's a breakboard card. That's a breakboard card. And then last week I was not maining this. I took it out. It was just a locals, and I kind of like, why not play it? It's a one of. It's kind of like Imperial Order. It's kind of like in the sense that like it's just a wipe. It just stops back row from like just you just want to get rid of back row if you have to do a back row, and like I feel like if why not just main another one? Because sometimes you can just get rid of back row, get rid of monsters. If you draw both together, get rid of monsters, get rid of back row. It's like pick, your choice. So that was it. Just a lot of breakboard cards. A lot of going second stuff and going first stuff. And then so like. Obviously, this is against like combo and like Sword Soul and like decks that put a lot of their monsters in attack mode because they have to. If I'm going like first, like if I win like game 1 or if I win like if I lose game 1 and go into game 2, game 2s if I'm going first, or game 3s if I'm going first, I'll side in judgments, and then depending on the matchup, I'll side in these, and then also. Depending on, I might side in drill, but a lot of the times I find against like this right here really worked for me going into games 2 and 3. Especially if I was going first. If I won game 1 and was going to game 3, then I'd play like cards like this, breakboard cards, stuff that stops stuff. And then if I was winning game 1 and losing game 2, I'm siding in this and this depending on what I'm playing. This is still kind of good in the mirror match, but a lot of people are playing breakboard cards as well, so I'm playing Judgment. I've been playing Judgment ever since I picked up the deck again, and I don't regret it because like this has saved my ass so many times. Like, I've stopped evenly with this. I've stopped like Harvey's Feather Duster from the I don't know. I've just stopped a lot of things, and if I draw and have full board, it's just an extra like fuck you card pretty much. Same thing with Dimension Barrier. Dimension Barrier was nuts. Like against Sword Soul, if I was going first into game 2 or 3, I was always seeing this because you just have so much ability to draw in your deck with your extra deck. So this card was good. That's all for the side 15, and then we'll go through the extra deck really quick. So for the synchros, I played Zulkin, Coral, Crystal, Shen, Charge, Mech, Croc, Money Mudragon. And I'll show you guys in a minute what I make with this using these two. So that's it for the synchros. For the XYZs, I played Zeus, M7, this card's broken. I play Break Sword, and then I still play this. I play the Beyond in this package to make a double wipe Zeus. It's really great. I forgot one synchro. I forgot this guy. This is just really good to get rid of problematic cards. I like this right here. Double wipe Zeus. A lot more people can see to double wipe Zeus than just a one. And then so when I was playing the deck, I was contemplating between Kaliga and this, and I found myself that with Chalice running around and Imperm and everything, in the sense that in Virtual World you only go into it in situations like Kaliga. You only go into it in situational play. And even if you decide, I have enough to make all three, I just don't, or make just in general like where like Kaliga can hurt you in a sense because like if you have like an Ash and Crystal and Shen and Kaliga and Chuche, like if you decide you want to do that board, it sucks because once you use your Crystal, you can't use your Ash, or a generic hand like Monster Trap or something like that, right? And also like Kaliga's not that big and is easily beat over, and it can be targeted, and for that reason, I play Dragoons. So all tournament, I summoned this card probably like it resolves summoning probably like 85% of the time. I think I had Dragoons on the field more than I had Crystal Wing on the field because a lot of the times it would be like I would just like make Zolkin. I set a card, and they imperm Valor it, right, and then I would always have like a tuner non-tuner. So like, hey, that's cool. And then so I would use that, and I would just make the Muddy Mud Dragon, and just if they didn't have the effect Valor and imperm for that, it was Dragoon. And in this deck, as long as you use your GG, you'll always have a card to add back in the end phase for that Dragoon card. If not, you always have 2 to 3 cards. If not, 1 card in your hand. So you always have an Omni negate. So when this would get, I would just make, I was like, damn, I can't get to my crystal. Okay, cool. I just make a Dragoon, which is something even worse that people don't want to necessarily face, especially because the only things you could do to it is beat over it, kaiju it, droplets it, or Dark Ruler no more. Those are the only cards that really out it. This is an auto win. Like in one of my matches to get to top 8, I played Sky Striker. I 2-0'd him. He couldn't get to Ray in one game. And then I just set this up on top of Shen Shen, and was just like, this and Shen Shen is just like crazy against Sky Striker. And when they stop this, I make this, and if they don't open up, like they literally can't out this card. There's nothing in Sky Striker that they can out this. And if they have Mystic Mine, I have Chuche. So like, it just single-handedly wins me games by itself. There'd be times where like, I would just make this because like, my hand was weird, or they stopped me and Ash me and Valor me and stuff, and I could still get to this play, or they stopped this, or whatever, and I would just enter Dragoon Chuche and like have a hand trap in hand with an extra discard, and that just became. So yeah, Dragoons is really good. I'm gonna continue to play it, and until something else better comes out, which I don't know what else. Hopefully, Konami gives us a broken an XYZ 9 or another synchro for the deck, hopefully. So we'll see. But that's it for the main and for the whole deck. So I want to give shout outs to Rivals Gaming for hosting a great event. It was a case tournament. So I want to say thank you to all the people that I play test with back here in Peru, Indiana. All the guys in Mishawaka, Indiana. Daniel for have a great shop, and get to play and letting us play through this pandemic situation. And now that Yu-Gi-Oh's opening it back up, it's great to have everybody be playing Yu-Gi-Oh again. And so I thank everybody that's play tested with me, and I want to thank my friend David for theorizing with the deck with me, because me and him are like the only 2 people at locals that really play the deck consistently. So shout out David, and that's it.
All right, thank you.